All that muscle just to flip a burger.
Boys, you guys need to understand that to some degree, life is materialistic, right? It's always broke people judging rich people. They're always like, oh, well, I don't need a penthouse. I live in a box. I don't need a hypercar. I have a Honda. You can't get a hypercar. And for that reason, you're hating. You need to change your opinion of what oversaturation means. If you're at a park and you're on a bench and you look over and there's a bunch of pigeons, right? They're all flying around one area, flapping their wings. Then it probably means there's food in that one area.
It's rented out for movie shoots, photo shoots, pictures, because I spoke to the neighbors there. And they said they only see him there once in a while. So what's the real story? We don't know. But we do know that the asshole's renting the place.
Well guys, it looks like we are back once again with one of the goofiest alpha males in the alpha male universe at this point. And the man whose hair is so damn fruity fresh that he has been given the nickname of Pubes Watson. So of course, we'll be talking about good old Vincent Fischer, who has now not only been exposed by John Bravo and just downright flamed in the same exact video.
If Peggy Watson and the 7-foot monster had a love child, that would be this asshole, because this asshole, right, look at him coming out of the car looking like that tall giraffe he is. He is actually 7 foot tall with that pubic hair dangling around everywhere.
But has also just been on some new type of bullshit this week. And it has only been around 2 weeks since the last time that we discussed this downright goober, where we watched him grifting his absolute ass off and flexing his supposedly new $3.5 million car, all in order to just get you to sign up onto his bullshit little program so he can teach you how to coach a coach to be a coach. And you already know that little Vince here has of course been continuing this bullshit flex in whatever way he possibly can, and he has been continuing to post little videos like this one right here, where he's trying to convince people to basically drop out of school and drop any plan B they have, and to join his program instead. And I just find it really interesting how the guy who is supposed to have all of these expensive ass cars is forced to be out here basically begging people to DM him the word mentor in every damn post.
I'm 23 years old. This car costs more than both those cars combined, and I graduated college.
So I'm 22 years old and this car costs twice as much as all 3 of those cars combined. Now, I dropped out of high school, and I'm not saying you have to drop out of high school to become successful. What I am saying is it's the biggest competitive advantage because you have no plan B, right? If you fail, you can always go to college, get a corporate job. If I fail, I have no diploma and I'm fucked, right? So all in is the mentality. Every single time I've burned the bridges and given myself no plan B, plan A usually worked.
So obviously, it's not too different from the normal grift that we have seen from this guy, where he is just for some reason determined to not only remain a complete dumbass, but for some reason, he is also determined to flex about it and to try to brag about how he didn't graduate high school and didn't achieve the easiest form of education that you could possibly get. But on top of all of his normal, usual BS, this man right here has also found a new little way that he's been trying to grift, because apparently he's been introduced to AI, and he has been going absolutely wild with it in only the past 2 or 3 days. And I don't know who showed Vince about AI or how to actually use it, but the first things that he decided to do with it was to pretend that he actually had friends in a life out here, and he ended up posting this dumbass little video right here as a little test run before posting another video where he was just pretending to be arrested.
Yeah, out here now, O Block with the guys, another cold night, but it's all love.
You know how it is, bro.
Always. Just chilling, catching the vibe, letting the camera see what it's like.
Block been quiet tonight, that's a plus.
Facts.
Sir, we got a complaint somebody was throwing items off this balcony.
It was just a couple sausages, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Witnesses saw them land in traffic. That's not safe. Turn around, please.
Seriously, for food?
Hands behind your back.
Cuffs secure.
You're under arrest for disorderly conduct.
And at first, I thought it was just him being goofy, or maybe I thought that he got sponsored by the AI company Sora to go ahead and post these types of videos. But it only took him about a day or so to start figuring out how to use this AI in order to try to promote his courses. Which, of course, that's what he did, considering his entire life just revolves around getting people to sign up for this shit. And it led to him starting off with this video before it slowly progressed into him making up fake traffic stops in order to promote it. And then we somehow ended up with getting an AI version of him flipping burgers in McDonald's that he himself, for some reason, posted.
This is what you look like celebrating failure.
The reason I pulled you over, you're the guy running that online coaching, right? We've been getting a lot of calls saying you're making too many people rich too fast. I need to ask a couple questions.
Go ahead, keep your hands where I can see them, all right? All that muscle just to flip a burger.
So as you can tell, the motherfucker has just been shitposting them nonstop. And we have him virtually putting the damn fries in the bag. Like, you can't make this shit up. And it's gotten so bad that these shitposts have basically started to be his regular post, except he's pretending that he has friends in them. And then at one point, for some reason, he decided to post Martin Luther King and used it to promote the courses, which I don't even know what the hell was going on at this point. The guy has just been going crazy with the AI fuck shit that doesn't even seem to have an ending and just ends up cutting off too soon every single time.
Block right now, I'm out here with the guys and I'm showing them how to run it up online. All straight from the laptop, no gimmicks. It's 2 weeks in the program and look at this number.
4 racks in a day?
4,215 a day. Yesterday was 30.
I have a dream that one day every broke gym bro trapped working 9 to 5, living off of protein powder and hope shall rise up.
And yeah, like I said, at this point, I don't even know how we got here. This was not what I expected to see from him, to where we have just started shitposting AI and getting even lazier with our content. And when he posts shit like this, he doesn't even have to be the one who's doing all the speaking and making up crap. He's just using the AI to do it for him. But on top of this must not have been enough of a grift, because he then decided to make another story post where he's talking about how AI is getting so advanced and how you better sign up and build yourself up and build your brand. And it's just a roundabout way for him to tell you to sign up for his courses again, because right after it he ran an ad. So not only is he using the AI in order to promote it, but he's then using it even further in order to tell people that the only way AI isn't going to take their job is by signing up with this goober.
Boys, it's actually crazy how fast this AI shit is advancing. I mean, pretty soon we're not going to be able to tell the difference. Like, I think the only thing that's going to survive in probably 2026 is having a personal brand and something AI related. But if you have a normal job, like doing Uber Eats, there's robots for that now. If you have a normal job doing graphic design or anything online, a robot can do it better. So if you're not more worried than ever and more motivated than ever to build a personal brand and start online business, then it's natural selection. You're going to get replaced.
So clearly, we are just hitting some new levels of being a grifting dipshit, and he has just been out of control with it. So out of control that it appears that he gained John Bravo's attention, and John Bravo did what he normally does, which was exposing the living shit out of him. And it was one video in particular that seemed to have gained John Bravo's attention, which was this one right here, where he's got his Russian model that he more than likely probably paid for and had shipped in the mail, rubbing his shoulders as he just sits there and tries to flex about his penthouse and all of his expensive cars, and was basically just crying about the haters.
Boys, you guys need to understand that to some degree life is materialistic, right? It's always broke people judging rich people. They're always like, oh, well, I don't need a penthouse, I live in a box. I don't need a hypercar, I have a Honda. You can't get a hypercar. And for that reason, you're hating, right? But to some degree, the results in your life reflect that you have the blueprint figured out, right? If I was telling you guys all this shit, but I didn't have a penthouse, I didn't have a Russian model rubbing my shoulders, I don't have 4 million in cars, what's the validity to my statements? There is none. So the problem with most men is they're unsuccessful in thinking they have the world figured out to the T. I speak to so many men, I'm like, bro, you need to tweak this, you need to do that. They're like, Vince, yeah, but you don't understand, bro, how my mind works. How your mind works does not work. And that's why you don't have results. So you need to drop your ego and switch your mind, learn from somebody that has the results you want in life, and they're inevitable.
And when you're looking at his little Russian model's face as he's sitting there talking, you can even tell that she knows he is full of complete shit by that little smile she's doing. And it appears that John Bravo also knew that he was full of complete shit, because he looked into that little penthouse that Vincent Fischer is always flexing about and is like one of his biggest achievements. And it turns out that the pubester here actually rents it. And John Bravo brought forth the receipts and proof to go ahead and prove that statement, and just exposed the living shit out of him for basically constantly lying and constantly acting like he owned the place.
And there's this penthouse that this Vincent is always bragging about. Every one of his videos is about this penthouse, right? In Miami on the top floor, right? I wanted to see, Does he own it? Does he rent it? What's the story? Because he tries to make everybody believe that he owns this thing, right? So I went and I got the address for the place and I looked it up and I found an old Zillow listing, right? But something was very interesting in this Zillow listing. If you guys take a look here at all these pictures, notice something. Look at the decorations, look at the furniture, look at everything. It's the exact same setup, right, that this asshole's using when he's filming his videos, but this listing is years old. So what's the story of it? So I took it even further. I went to the tax website on the address of the house, and lo and behold, he's not the owner of it, right? I went and looked up the MLS and it says that it was rented last October, right? And if you look here, I'm going to show his posting on Instagram. The day he moved in, he was posting it and flaunting it on Instagram like he owns it. Now, this is the thing. I can't see the name of who actually rented it. For all we know, it's rented out for movie shoots, photo shoots, pictures, because I spoke to the neighbors there. And they said they only see him there once in a while. So what's the real story? We don't know. But we do know that the asshole's renting the place.
And the best part about this to me is even Vincent's neighbors are out here flaming the living shit out of him. And John there is providing footage that the neighbors sent him, where they said it apparently took him like 30 takes as he's sitting there in the pool trying to talk on his phone. So at this point, even the neighbors are saying that they only see him once in a while. And when they do, apparently he's just being as big of a goober as he is online in real life. And this really shows you how fake this guy's entire persona really is. And it makes you start to wonder about all of these different cars that he's trying to flex, and about that Russian model that he's always pretending is there for the love, when we all know that she's there for the money. And then, to add even more insult to injury, John then went on to discuss how Vincent apparently got his $3.5 million car from the exact same shady-ass dealership that Wes Watson and multiple other alpha males have gotten all of their cars from.
What about all those cars he drives, right? The cars he drives are from that same shady place their influencers get their cars from. Remember Wes, when he was in the car arguing about not having a title and registration? That was bought from this same place. But I mean, a kid, 22 years old, driving around now, he's saying $3.5 million car, getting it from that same shady place. So I knew some shady shit is going on.
So good old Pubes Watson just cannot stop but to take as many L's as humanly possible. And it really shows you that everything we thought about this guy seems to be pretty damn true. Where homie is really taking the term fake it to make it to the complete next level. And with all of that in mind, with what John Bravo just shared, let's go ahead and look at his most recent grift and his last Q&A where he was promoting this grift even further, where he stated that he has made the decision to take over the internet and get 1 million followers, and that he was just about to cook.
Yo, so boys, we're doing something a little bit new. I'm gonna speed run to 1 million followers. I haven't been focused on growing my following or posting, but now I'm gonna post every single question I answer as a reel that I like, right? So ask me any questions about life, business, online coaching, mindset, and I'm gonna post. I mean, a lot of you guys are OGs, and if I were to post these as reels, we'd be past 1 million already. But let's speed run it, hit me up above, and let's get it, boys.
And since it appears, by what we just saw with John, that this guy is just renting everything in his life, I'm assuming what he means by speed running is that he's just gonna buy a shit ton of followers. And he then followed this up with just some goofy ass Q&A questions, where he started out by trying to defend the fact that the online coaching situation isn't oversaturated, and for some reason compared himself to a fucking pigeon on this little incoherent rant that he decided to go on.
Need to change your opinion of what oversaturation means. If you're at a park and you're on a bench and you look over and there's a bunch of pigeons, right? They're all flying around one area, flapping their wings, then it probably means there's food in that one area. And if you want to get some bread, you got to get in there, right? It's just what it is. It's the same exact thing with online business. The reason everybody's flocking to coaching is because people understand it's the easiest money in the world. If you have a passion for fitness, you know to some degree what you're talking about. You care about your clients. Like, that's it. So guys, the only way to not be oversaturated in this industry is to have your own unique story, right? I was the skinny broke high school dropout that got in shape and built financial freedom.
And yeah, so obviously he's just coping and doing whatever he has to try and convince people to go ahead and sign up. And a pigeon might have been a pretty damn good comparison for himself, because he's basically begging for these signups like a pigeon begs for food when you're at the park, by just sitting there and looking stupid. And he actually ended up continuing this Q&A, where he answered the question about what the most money is he made in a single year by just throwing out random numbers followed by the word million, and admitted that he's just a coach who coaches coaches, and went on a tangent about how he's not actually a scammer. Even though, you know, we just found out the man is renting the same place that he's always claiming to own and always claiming is a reason that he's not actually a scammer and that it's proof he's actually that person. So it is not looking too good for him on that front.
So most money you've made in a single year, I think this year we've probably made 5-6 million so far. By the end of the year, we'll end at 7-8. And this is from info. I'm not going to tell you it's from trading. I'm not going to tell you it's from drop shipping. I coach coaches who coach coaches. Like that's what I do. But I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to say buy my course instead. I'm going to say, listen, the numbers are there. Obviously, I'm good at what I do. People go, oh, well, you're a scammer. I mean, if I teach you how to go viral and I teach you how to make money and I happen to be viral and make money, that's living proof that I know to some degree what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, that's what I do. That's what I make. And I think online coaching in general is the most booming industry, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
And yeah, Vince, I'm sure you are happy to be a part of that. Just like you're happy to be renting that little place you're staying in. And I think this is the perfect place to end it, because you couldn't find a better ending than watching him basically admit that his whole little coaching thing is just him coaching other people to do the exact same thing, which, you know, is basically just a pyramid scheme, and is just a ridiculous concept in general. So with that said, if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and join the Saints Mafia, where we are constantly staying on all of these alpha males' heads. And I'm out. Watching Vincent Fischer get exposed before grifting his ass off to just new levels this week. And peace.
So thoughts on Corvette C8s? I mean, Corvette C8, you know, it's a good starter car, right? If you're 17, 18, 19, first car, getting a little bit of money, right? It's a solid start. Now, if you're past the age of 19, if you're 20, it's time to grow up and get a real Lambo, man. Now, I don't buy cars for the spec. I don't buy cars for the speed. I don't buy cars for the horsepower. I buy cars to big dick other cars, right? If you're in a brokey Lambo, if you're in an SVJ, and I pull up in my Scion, daddy's home, right? The street is now mine.